Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning back in. Hello to all my new subscribers. Really am surprised but also grateful for the amount of discussion and support that I've had on my last few videos. I can see some of the things that really interest you guys, and I'm looking forward to continuing to talk about it and continue to take your feedback and improve, of course. I have a really good video script that I'm working on that I got pretty much done today. I just want to do one last review of it before I film it. Before we get into today's video, make sure you hit the bell, you subscribe, feel free to share this video with a friend if anybody is looking for some new brands to support. I know I've talked about it before, especially on my last video, speaking about being a little bit more sustainable and intentional with our clothing choices and just brands in general, because our money really does mean something. Our money goes toward important causes and who we condone with our money, right? And of course, there are things that we can't avoid. We have to shop at Walmart. We have to shop in places, especially more rural areas. But at least online, for the things that you're able to get that aren't necessarily day-to-day necessities, I thought I would just share with you guys. This is not an exhaustive list, but it is a list of some of my favorite, like, tried and true brands that are alt/indie or both that I really stand by and that I really love as a company. So let's go down this road and let's get into it. Oh no. I forgot to put my lip oil on. Let me do that real quick. Lip break. Well, I want to just give a disclaimer. Obviously, these are my opinion. I haven't, deep dove the in-depth history of every single one of these brands, but what I have seen from them consistently are good things, great reviews, and my personal experience with them has been great. So like I said, this is clothes. This is like all a menagerie of things that I will share with you today. First, the brand that I will not shut the fuck up about is Foxblood. Any friends who know me know probably most of my day-to-day wardrobe is from Foxblood. In fact, I'm going to prove it to you. These earrings are from Foxblood. This shirt is actually Foxblood. This duster is Foxblood, and I have about 3 pairs of shoes from them. So they are a small, woman-owned, Los Angeles-based company. Now, they are not fast fashion, and their slogan is for babes who wear black, which is kind of my aesthetic. But obviously, when I was younger, I feel like when I was kind of returning to more of my like goth roots, I definitely had a normie phase like for a lot of my 20s, my early 20s and everything. I kind of had like the split hair, I had the boho kind of thing going on. I know it seems weird looking at me now, but regardless, Foxblood was a really good one because if you're looking for basics, if you're looking for like things that will pair well with really anything and just be a staple in your wardrobe, you can wear it as casual as this because I'm always cold. This has thumb holes in it and it's really like heavy fabric. It's good quality. It's got this big kind of like hood that you can see. Kind of looks like you're gonna go to a ritual later, which if that's your thing, not great for peripheral vision. But you more wear it for the aesthetic, right? I don't know if this clip's even gonna work for the rest of this video, so I'll just take it down. I can't recommend it enough. I mean, their clothes are good quality. A lot of them I've bought years ago now, and they've held up amazingly well. Thick fabric, and they always have new drops, new collections, and I don't remember, I'll have to find the listing for these, but I think this was a collaboration with a company. It's just slipping my mind at the moment. But like everything they have is carefully curated. There's a lot of care and methodical, it's not just fast fashion, right? Like there's intention behind it. You can tell the designers, I believe her name's Lindsay, the one who designs a lot of the outfits and clothing pieces and collections are just so well made. And I had the privilege of going to their LA storefront. And I was obsessed. They also have one, which I went as well, in Salem, Massachusetts, Die With Your Boots On. That store is incredible, and if you ever have the chance and you're in Salem, Massachusetts, I highly recommend going there. So both their storefronts there, they had a collection inside the store, but their storefront in Los Angeles was absolutely amazing. They have a sister store as well that does a lot of pastels, so it's like a complete 180, like it's a complete opposite in terms of aesthetics, but kind of similar quality in clothing, I believe. I wouldn't know about the pastel company because obviously I don't rarely wear pastels. The most color I get is maybe on my nails or my eyeshadow like I have today. Which, by the way, if you like my eyeshadow, I unfortunately am not wearing one of the indie brands today. This is actually from the Frozen 2 ColourPop palette. It's the Elsa one. Yeah, I will never shut up about Foxblood. I talk about it probably people are tired of hearing about how much I talk about Foxblood at this point. So they're probably my number one alternative brand that I recommend. Now, obviously, it is a bit femme, so if that's not really your style or you present more unisex or masculine, I think they're in the process of kind of coming out with more unisex styles, but they do have shoes. In fact, I'm going to show you a few pairs of shoes that I have from them. So these are one of them. I think it's the longest one I've had. This is a high heel boot. I think my size is a size 8, I don't remember. But obviously I've worn them a lot. They have scuffs, I need to clean them. But I've had these for years, never had any problems. Great fit. They work really well because they have that shiny vinyl that I like. And they pair really well with certain matte outfits or other things. Or like if you have a vinyl kind of like underbust, looks great with that. Yeah, zipper's still intact, really comfy. Highly recommend. My newest pair, which I'm happy to wear this summer now that it's getting warmer, are these. Listen, we love platforms in this house, me personally, even though my fiance is shorter than me, so she's always kind of like, you're wearing platforms again. That's obviously a joke, she doesn't care, but it's kind of funny. But these are also super soft. When I saw these, like, I had to have them. That's like quintessential, like, alternative, like, sandal, like wedge, I don't know if you'd call this a wedge, platform. Those are obviously, and pretty much everything I'm wearing is Foxblood. So like I said, highly recommend. I've been in their store. They're very nice. They have jewelry, they have sunglasses, they have bags. It's in the other room, but I have their duffel bag that I've used to travel with a few times. It's the bat one. I'll put a picture up on the screen. But yeah, comment if you've shopped at any of these places or if you have additional recommendations for me as well. I would love to continue supporting indie brands, alternative brands that just put love into their clothing. And like I said, like I would rather have a set of basics that's going to last me, years and years rather than churn through a bunch of fast fashion that's just thin. So if you have the privilege and the means to get a few pieces from them, I can at least attest on my own experience, which I'm very rough on my clothing. I'm very rough on my clothing and my shoes. So they have all lasted. I did have a pair of their platform boots, which I will disclose, the sole had come off of the shoe, but since we've put glue on it, I haven't had any problems. They were one of their zip-up boots, but I'd put those things through the ringer. Like we're talking walking around downtown, like going up hills. I've just destroyed those shoes. So the fact that they have lasted and since we've glued them back, haven't had any issues on one of them. Like, again, I would still recommend them with flying colors besides that like one shoe that I'd had. Anything that you need basics wise that's black or that's kind of a spooky color, they do like a really cute, if you like Halloween style clothing, they usually do a big Halloween drop. They do a cute Valentine's Day drop. I also have some socks from them that look like little blood drops on the top, and they're crew socks, like about crew length. Their sizes, I believe, go up to 4XL. Some of their clothing goes up to 4XL, and I do appreciate that they disclose like what models are what size so that you can try to find somebody who's similar in size and look to you in terms of body proportions. So like I said, this will probably be the longest brand that I like wax poetic on. I also have a like overall, like it looks like a dress because it's got these really like billowy kind of pantaloons, like the harem pants almost, but it's like an overall pantsuit. And that has also held up amazingly well. I just had to stitch the sleeve, the tank top strap, because I wore it so much and just put it through the wash and killed it. But it has lasted for years. So when I say like, love these clothes and they'll love you back, I totally stand by that. Next on my list is Black Moon Cosmetics, which I'm sure a lot of you guys are familiar with. I don't have one of their lipsticks in front of me, which it's in like all my bags, but I have a few of their matte liquid lipsticks that I really like. As I'm getting older, I'm finding I'm kind of going back to more like cream lipsticks and more glosses because I feel like the matte lipsticks kind of make me look dried out. They kind of like get really dry on my lips. And I think glosses just kind of come back into vogue a little bit more in recent years anyway. Like I know the mid 2010s, like matte lips and like super glam faces were all the rage. But yeah, I have not yet besides maybe I think Beauty Bar, I have not found like a really good black liquid lipstick except them. And like I have their bright red, I think it's like their Hollywood red or something. I have that one, and their packaging is just so on point. It's so cute, and their lipstick is very durable. It lasts a long time. It doesn't really dry out. Like I've had mine for quite a long time. And they also have like little glosses you can put over them if you want as like finishers. I bought like a little packet of like these little, they were eyeshadow or like lip toppers that were in like a little moon. It was so cute. I'll have to try to see if I can find it or put it on the screen. But I do definitely recommend Black Moon Cosmetics for my people who like to wear makeup and want to support like an indie alternative brand. I think their black liquid lipstick Sleepwalker is still like touted as one of the best liquid lipsticks in terms of black, in terms of wearability of like almost any brand. So highly recommend them. Next, so again, a lot of people will probably know about this brand, but the next one is Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab. Now, Black Phoenix Alchemy Lab, or BPAL, I'll call it after this, they are a perfumes and fragrances company, but they do a lot more than that. But they custom make little perfumes and oils that you can, dab on, or they have lockets that you can dab on, and they do a ton of different scents. I mean, they probably have thousands on there. They have just regular day-to-day fragrances. I just bought their Fainting Couch one. Please get it. It's so good. My friend Megan recommended that one to me, and I love it. It makes the house smell so nice. It's nice to, have a company that has those more unconventional scents. I wouldn't say that it's like store-bought perfume, obviously. There is like, depending on the types of scents that you like, there's definitely like a earthy, some of them can be like musky. They use just a lot of really nice like sandalwood, jasmine. Sometimes they'll use like smoky scents, and they base them off of different fandoms as well. And some of their special, limited edition ones are in support of like activism and causes, which I really appreciated. They still have some on the website that support Roe v. Wade being overturned. So a lot of that was going directly toward, I believe, women's rights. And they did one for Black Lives Matter, I believe, as well. So I really like supporting companies that have their heart in the right place. This one in particular is like the newest one I got, and it is from Only Lovers Left Alive. That one was out of stock for a long time. I kept trying to check back and it hadn't come in stock. Their website is a little bit weird and a little intimidating to navigate if it's your first time, just because it's modeled as slightly older websites if you're not used to that or you don't know what that entails or how it is. I swear it's worth it. Plug through, you'll find something that you're interested in. And I will say the best part is when you buy stuff, you get a whole sample bag of smaller vials and they send them to you and they'll tag them. Like, I haven't tried this one yet, but they'll give you like a whole lot of like new ones that you can try, which is great because if you're not sure or you're just like venturing out and starting out in this world, which I was a few years ago, and it's very overwhelming to try to like figure out what your scents are, what things you like. So even if you just buy one full size, you will get a vial of a bunch of these smaller ones that you can try. The red is newer. I had just gotten this in a recent order, but they used to have a purple bag. And you can take these with you like when you travel. That's what I really love too. You can just take these with you and you don't have to worry about like breaking these as you travel because it's very valuable. Again, I thought Foxglove was going to be my longest rant, but this was also a really long one. They have massage oils, everything. So definitely check them out. I cannot emphasize enough how much I wasn't a fragrance person until I got older. And it's because people in my family had very sensitive noses and they reacted really badly. So I wasn't able to really explore perfumes and fragrances until I was older. And I have not regretted that. I have the Adam one. I have the Eve one from the Only Lovers Left Alive. And I'm trying to remember which other ones I have. I have a whole bag of them, not a huge amount of them, but like I said, maybe I'll insert a picture. I have it in my bathroom. I'll insert a picture of the ones that I have. I think I got Black Cat as a present, but I cherish all of them. Quintessence of Dust from Only Lovers Left Alive is probably that one, and Shelley, Byron, and Keats from that collection. Those are some of my favorites so far. I, of course, will keep exploring as I go. But those are some of my favorites. Moving on, some of you guys who are in the YouTube space will be familiar with this brand, but I still count it as an indie brand because it has started from the ground up. But Holo Taco. If you guys don't know, Simply Nailogical is a channel on here, and her name's Christine, and I used to watch her nail tutorials all the time because she did such interesting things, and she was obsessed with like holographic nail polish, hence the name. The name is actually a play on words from her early days on the channel. She kept saying in voiceovers, she called like a holo taco, like it's a holographic top coat, but she called it holo taco and that she shortened it. And that kind of just became a staple of her brand. So like, of course, it's going to become like the face of this nail polish that she created. I will say of all just standard types of polish that you can buy at stores, I will say that like Christine's formulas are some of the best that I've tried. I'm not like an avid nail girly. I do have some that I like, but these in particular, like this one, and there's different types of hollow. This one is the Aurora Unicorn Skin, so this isn't technically a hollow, but I just grabbed whichever one I found in the bathroom. These are great. It comes with like, you can get a pack that comes with like the base coat and then the top coat. It lasts about a week, which for my nails is great because I'm always banging my hands on something. I'm always like being destructive or clumsy or cooking or doing laundry. And I even have to be careful with my ring because I don't want to do laundry or get it caught on something. So I can attest to at least the ones I've tried. Now, I didn't venture out in a lot of the crazy colors. I do have, I think, the red, that like dusty purple that she came out with a long time ago, and black, obviously, and I did clear and a few of the toppers. I think I have linear and maybe one other, but they're great. And I highly recommend them if you haven't tried it already. I think they do have like sales and they'll have like bundle packs if you're ever curious and you just want to try to get them all at once. I have that, and I believe her, I don't know if it's jojoba or jojoba. I hear people saying both, but she had that like nail pen that she was selling, and I try to use that every once in a while too when my hands get really dry during the winter. It definitely comes in handy. So give Holo Taco a try. Okay, going on the beauty and the makeup train as we continue to go down here. This one in particular really impressed me. On TikTok, I found a creator, her name is Mary Anna Moritani. I think she recommended, she does makeup tutorials as she like puts together her thrifted outfits and like has really cool outfit ideas that are like really zany and creative. And I think on one of her makeup looks, like she has better lighting than I do, obviously, and was showing off just how bright this palette was, and I had to have it. And I've had friends like compliment me every time I wear eyeshadow from this palette. I believe it's called Bella Beauty Bar. Now I think it's like Beauté Bar, so sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. But it is the recently de-influenced palette. Now, I really like this palette. Obviously, the like art on it is cool as hell. I think there's a note just for like disclosure purposes. Like I didn't realize this, but I think some of the red pigments you have to be careful of. The vegan red pigments, they don't recommend use around the immediate eye area. So maybe like the red colors, don't just put them like really close to your eyeball, like maybe on top of your eyelid. It's probably fine. I've never had a problem with any irritation, but they probably just did that for general disclosure purposes, just to be cautious. But here's the palette. Now I have like flakies all over the place. It is absolutely lovely. How bright and shiny it is, and like the color payoff is unreal. I'm gonna be like a makeup girly here. But like, if you can see how bright and vibrant that is, like I'm obsessed. And I haven't used this nearly enough. I'm hoping to in the summer, now that we have Pride coming and other like fun spring and summer events, like some drag brunches and all of that jazz. Really well put together, like very durable. I believe this palette's like around 50 or 60 bucks. The quality and the pigmentation you get in these shadows, like I have had no problems, and the payoff is so great. Like you will have this for forever. I probably keep my palettes way past when they should be expired. But this is still pretty new. I got this, I think, maybe a year ago at the most. Yeah, it's beveled here. Just has such great color payoff. Love them. I can't wait to get more from them when I can. It is kind of a splurge purchase for me, for sure. Moving on, I have 2 honorable mentions in the makeup department, so I wanted to get all those out of the way before I got a little bit more into some clothing and some miscellaneous things. But this is the Flight Club one. I think it's one of their most popular palettes, but if you're a purple girly, like, you just have to have this one. Like, I think that like Squeak is probably one of my favorite colors because it has that like, it has that lifeless like Wednesday Addams shade is the best way I think I can describe it off the cuff right now. But there are like some shimmers, there's some mattes, so depending on your mood, like you don't have to go one way or the other. You can go both if you want. But these also have like really great color, and yeah, I mean, I'm not a makeup influencer, like I could always swatch this if you want, but just if you want to take my word and opinion for it, like I really like it and it blends really nicely. Now last, the one I've had probably the longest, I got this when I was in LA a few years ago, but the Widow Witch Cosmetics, they have a cute little sleeve here, but this one's really, really nice. It's durable again, and it has a little sleeve, so you don't have to worry about it like shattering everywhere or like scattering all over the place. But hello, every goth girl's dream. You got like the black and the white, and then you have these like other colors, so you can go really vibrant if you want. I know you can like kind of pair it like black and yellow or black and green, or, you know, whatever, to really like pop out. I like using this one, if you can tell, around Halloween time, like when I wear orange stuff. I like wearing the orange and the black, but these powders are great. I think they might be more pigmented and like easier to work with if you use them when they're wet, because sometimes it can be a little bit scattered. I find the Recently De-Influenced palette to have the powders that are a lot nicer and aren't as much like hassle. Glitters. These glitters aren't always the easiest, but I think if I just use them with a wet brush, it would be a lot easier. But I find Spellbinder to be like this purple here to be like one of my favorites. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions in makeup. And we can move on to like my one miscellaneous item, and then I'll go to more of the clothing side of things to wrap up. So if any of you are tea drinkers, I don't think it's a secret. I love tea, coffee, matcha, all of it. My friend Megan recommended this place to me. Her name is Lady Grey Kitchen Brand Tea, and she's a store on Etsy. Now she does fandom-based tea blends, which is like a really cute concept. And I personally didn't play this game myself, but I did watch my friend Judy play it. I watched her play Fire Emblem Three Houses, and the game is like really fun. And I know it's not like Fire Emblem's normal creators. Like I think other creators had come in for that game, but it was like a lot of fun story and dialogue, and like it felt really engaging. So like I liked watching it. This one is from Fire Emblem, but it has become like one of my favorite teas at night. Now it is a loose leaf, so you need to put it in a bag. Dimitri's Chamomile Blend is unreal. Like it is so soothing, and I cannot recommend it enough. She ships so fast, and she even remembers when you're a repeat order. Like if you have repeat orders, like she'll put like a heart and say thanks for ordering again, and I'm like, she remembered me. That's so nice of her. So I can't recommend them enough, and I think you can buy them in bundles of like 3. So you can do like 3 sizes of like this container. And yeah, this one is literally just chamomile, green rooibos, lemon balm, and cornflower petals. But like so simple, so soothing, and when I want tea, like, and I don't want caffeinated tea, like this is what I reach for every single time. So that's Lady Grey Kitchen. I'll go through a few more clothing brands and then we'll wrap up. I know, like I said, this is a little bit different than my usual content. I wanted to get you guys something still on Tuesday as I'm scripting this next video, which I think we're all going to like. So moving on, I don't have the shirt with me, but I will put a picture of it from her Etsy store. Angela Benedict is actually a creator here on YouTube as well. Very well-respected goth creator. And she has an Etsy store called The Plague Dance, and she does like cut up shirts and sells them. And so there was one that I really, really liked from a Susie and the Banshees print. And I went ahead and just like, again, it was kind of like a little splurge for me, but I went ahead and ordered it because I wanted to see. And I had cut up shirts before, but I didn't have a band shirt on hand to do it. So I just wanted to try something new. And she was so prompt and like got it out so quickly, and I love it. Quality of it is great, but I can't recommend her store enough. Like she's just professional, prompt, like great. So again, if you want to support alternative people, I highly recommend going on Etsy too. A lot of people make great creations. If like maybe someone's disabled or you can't sew yourself, you can still support the community by supporting someone who does. Now this next one, I will give a caveat to this for many reasons that I'm not going to get into in depth in this video. Tunnel Vision is another one that is very sustainable. They use a lot of great, feel like materials. It can be a little bit pricey. Back a few years, like years ago, I ordered kind of like a bundle from them. They were doing style bundles around the holiday time, and I just really needed some new pieces. So you send them your measurements, and they gave me like a bundle of like 4 outfits or something for like $200, which is a pretty good deal. And it included like jewelry, top, bottom, and like I think 1 or 2 of them had like fishnets or like a body fishnet outfit. So I felt like at that time it was a pretty good value. The caveat comes from not necessarily the store, but the creator themselves. Madeline Pendleton has created kind of a lot of controversy on and off TikTok, so I invite you to check them out and make your opinion for yourself if you feel like that's somebody you want to support. I haven't ordered from them since I ordered those clothes a few years ago. I've heard a lot of like mixed things from creators about them, and I'll just leave it at that so we don't dive too deep into that. Like I said, with a caveat, do your research, make your own informed decision if you want to support that company or not. They do also support a socialism model in their company. So there are, multiple things can exist at the same time is a lot of the phrasing that I use, the nuance of things, the gray, the gay, and everything in between, as I like to say. So that part of the model is nice because every employee at that company gets paid the same, including Madeline. And I believe they try to have a very equitable model at their company. So I do want to give props where props are due there as well. But like I said, just make your own informed choice as to whether you want to support them or not. Next is Hot Chocolate Design. I've had these shoes forever. Gosh, probably like maybe 7-8 years. I love them. I get compliments on them all the time. They're these little skull shoes, and they're kind of like Mary Jane's. They're small, and like I said, they're pretty beat up. They've seen some stuff for real. But yeah, you can see Hot Chocolate Design on the back. These were like my airport shoes, and like I kid you not, every time I go through the airport, somebody like compliments me on these. They're always like, oh my gosh, like I love your shoes. And they have this really like soft, it's a really soft fabric, and they're so comfortable to wear. I usually wear these with socks because again, I'm always cold. Cannot recommend that company enough. Now, they're not all alternative designs, but it is an indie company, and their shoes come in like, if it's still the case, like when I bought those, they came in like a little milk carton. It was the cutest thing I'd ever seen. Like getting your shoes in like a giant milk carton. Like I was smitten. I was like, oh my god, so cute. Yeah, Hot Chocolate Design. If you want some like funky different shoes that aren't run of the mill, that you want some personality to them, they do have a lot of different styles. It's not, like I said, it's not just like strictly goth styles. They have like colorful ones. I think they had like cupcake ones. They've just done a ton of different types, and they have platform ones as well if you want to have ones that are tall. So again, I can't recommend them enough. Like those shoes have paid for themselves and then some. I will finish with a few like obvious ones that I think everybody like who's alternative shops at or wishes they could shop at like me. If you're going for shoes, you obviously want to try out a pair of Demonias. Like that's pretty standard. I've heard mixed things. Like I don't know if in recent years maybe their quality has gone down. The shoes I've had from them I've had no problems with, but I also don't wear them all the time. So maybe people who frequently wear them, they break down a little bit. But for the quintessential goth looking for an alternative brand, Demonia, New Rock, that have been around for a long time and are kind of like goth staples at this point. Next, again, is a tried and true brand that kind of goes away, comes back, goes away, comes back, but Lip Service. Lip Service is great. I do find their sizing to be a little bit limiting because I'm a pear shape, so usually I wear large size bottoms depending on what the sizing like chart and parameters are for that brand, and I do find sometimes their stuff is a little bit hard for me to fit in. For the most part, I really like their designs, and again, like they're just a staple time immemorial like alternative brand. Now here are some honorable mentions in the clothing / accessories department, because I did lack some accessories. Besides Tunnel Vision has a lot of accessories, but I did lack a few stores that you can buy like harnesses or chokers or rings or anything like that you can buy. Two that I can attest to, not personally, but just from like great word of mouth and in general, is Tommy Vowels. He's a creator. You can find him on Instagram, and he has a website as well, but he does like custom accessories like big belts. They do a lot of things with chains, harnesses, amazing designs. I mean, like huge. You can have ones around here, you can have underbusts. Makes me drool looking at them. Like I would love to get a few pieces from him at some point. But again, it's high price, but high quality. So I would rather, at this point in my life personally, I would rather, buy fewer things, but get high quality items that I can kind of mix and match and still have variety. I know Toxic Tears, Kaya really likes Tommy Vowels. She has a lot of pieces from him too. And another seller on Etsy that I'm actually going to eventually get some pieces from is a store called Blasphemy Clothing. They seem to have some really cool designs, and they put a lot of, Bauhaus and band tee cropped tanks, and some of them are bleached as well. So like, again, if modifying clothing is not accessible to you for whatever reason, like if you're disabled or if you just want to get a gift for somebody, that might be a great place if you're able to have like their measurements or their sizing. I would highly recommend, trying some Etsy sellers, because again, you're kind of giving back to the community in some way if you're not able to DIY it yourself. That wraps up today's video. I hope some of these recommendations were either new to you or gave you ideas to share out stores that you personally enjoy. Drop in the comments, let me know what stores you like from alternative or indie brands, and I would love to check them out and keep my horizons open to support smaller creators and business owners who are doing the good work out here to give us, unique pieces and things that are of quality. Thank you for tuning in. And like I said, longer scripted video with a little bit more sources and a little bit more deep dives are coming. So thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!